Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are today here in Ras Al Khaimah, Emirates, in Jebel Yanas, for the second task of the UAE Hike&Fly Championship. And the athletes are right now aligning. Actually, the race just started right now, so we can see all the public people, very important people waiting there. They are looking at the athletes running. There you go. And we are at the finish line waiting for them after this other tough race day today here in the Rocky Mountains of Ras Al Khaimah in the United Arab Emirates. Very good. And again, the race just started just a few minutes ago. Today's race, it's a very long and tough race, real life. So they are starting from the valley here, hiking up 800 meters to first takeoff. As you can see, that's Turnpoint 1. They will have then to fly and land to a mid-landing field, the Turnpoint 2, hike again to Turnpoint 3, take off, tag at Turnpoint, a cylinder, which is quite close, and then fly back to Turnpoint 1, where they need to land, take a selfie, and then glide out to the finish line where we are currently waiting for them. There we go. And as you can see, Nick is with me here today as well. Hello, Nick.
G'day, Fiore.
And together we're ready to, again, try and bring you as close as possible to the action today. You can see the athletes are, they have to run on flat for a couple of kilometers before starting the hill climb to reach Turnpoint 1. And you can see the environment is far from welcoming here. Rocks, desert, heat. These are all elements that will definitely put the minds of our athletes at a tough
okay,
test
for
today,
camera one,
sure.
next point.
It looks quite shady at the moment. It's pretty gloomy skies as well. So we had a couple of brief showers when we left Dubai. And yeah, it's a bit of a change from the last edition where we didn't see any clouds the whole edition. But there's been some, big cumulonimbus developing offshore over the water, which is typical during the night with the cloud top cooling. And they've been blown by the wind over onto the land.
يلا يا جماعة
It's
انتوا
pretty dark out
اطلعوا
there, but
واحد يستنى
it's a different time of day where you expect the development to be over the high mountains and then
اللي هو
they'll be
النط
blown
تحت البحر من
away
الخيمة اللي فوق.
from the task area. So fingers crossed.
So we managed to bring rain to the desert, as we say. But yeah, again, we do have quite tricky weather today, so we will be keeping an eye on it as well. And of course, the organization is ready to stop the task at any time if we see any concern for the safety of the pilots today.
At least with the shade, you'll have a little bit cooler walk up the hill.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Actually, today it doesn't even feel like being in the Emirates. The temperature is quite nice, and the shadow is helping a lot.
You see there's a bit of a breeze where we are at the end of the task. That's been pretty consistent since we've been here. It's been blowing in towards the valley where there'll be
تمام أنا حركب مع جيدة همشي معاهم هنباري الناس
that you'd expect. I'm not sure how long it's been. We've only been here for an hour, but
yeah, just a little more than an hour.
Yeah, it's basically favourable for flying with wind coming up the slope. So
yeah, definitely.
كده أعمل ليه تيست. Okay. تمام.
So right now the athletes are running on the flat, and very soon they will start the uphill climb to the first takeoff. We're just waiting for a camera to reach up there, and so we will be able to show you all the takeoffs of the athletes today. And as you can probably notice, we definitely improved our live stream quality today as we solved most of the major issues we had the other day. So finger crossed, if it keeps stable like this, then we will be happy.
Inshallah, as they say.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So these mountains here, they're called al-Hajar, which just means the rock in Arabic. And it's probably a pretty fitting name. Like if you look at them, they pretty much are just rock. Maybe in the European mountains, you might call it the cow paddock or the ski field. But yeah, I think the rock is a better name.
For sure. Yeah, and yesterday we had a very nice training day here. We got to fly for a bit, couple hours. But yesterday as well, the weather was overdeveloping quite quickly after midday. So let's hope it will hold a little bit longer today.
Yeah. Yeah, there were showers to the north and, in fact, some showers just over launch. I think, were you trying to top land or?
No, not really. As soon as I saw the showers coming and the storm developing, I just went full far out to flatland, trying to escape.
Yeah, I know. I was talking to one pilot who got rained on a little bit, but they kept flying, and by the time they landed, it was completely dry. But
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we all got showered on a little bit, but definitely nothing to worry about. All right, and as we are here, we as well remind you that you can follow the action even out of this live streaming that we're doing on our Instagram channel at UAE Hike&Fly Championship. So remember to follow the channel and watch the stories and the posts to keep updated on everything that's happening, even outside of the race days. Again, this is a very long event. It's a 12-day or 10-day long event. We had the first task the other day in Dubai Marina from the Adras Beach Resort. The now, I would say, well-renowned hotel with a rooftop launch pad. And today,
a place a lot of pilots aren't going to forget anytime soon.
For sure. And I mean, most pilots, many people were concerned about this takeoff area, and I mean, it's definitely understandable. But I can assure you, I mean, I took off as well, and it's definitely, it looks much worse than it actually is. Because, I mean, the takeoff technique is actually quite simple once you know how to manage the wind a little bit. And it's not much different than any other coast launch with an angle, you know? I mean, if you ever took off from a coast cliff, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, and as for the conditions in the air, before I came here last edition, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but the days we flew here, I mean, the weather was a little bit different. We didn't have any clouds. It was just blue and with the usual haze in the distance. But the conditions were really nice, like really nice thermals and not too strong, just the perfect kind of conditions for a gentle cross country. It is the winter here, or I don't know, late autumn, whatever it is. So it's shorter days, and it's probably a lot different in summer.
Probably,
but
actually, this time the event is held almost 1 month earlier than last time, because we were at the beginning of November, and last time was at the end of November. So maybe that has also something to do with instability that we faced yesterday and are facing today as well. So we expect the climb to be about an hour and a half, maybe. It's about 800 meters elevation, and I mean, we definitely as well have very, very strong athletes right now here, and so I assume the first one will get up there in about an hour.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Durigati is the first one up there again. He's pretty fast on the uphills. Here we go. There's some footage.
Okay, very good. And we have information from the leading pack. We have in first place, we have Nicola Herringer.
I believe he came second in the the skyscraper pass.
Yeah, exactly. I confirmed that. So we have Nicola Herringer from Switzerland, but not the one we're saying on screen now. On screen now, we're saying Seth Ospina running. So actually now the cars are following the athletes, and so of course, hopefully we'll see some of them during the race. Back. So in the place we have Nicola Herringer, followed by René Godel from France, and Lars Mercedula from Switzerland. So these are the first three athletes at the moment. And as the cars are driving by, we'll see the athletes running on the track before starting their very, very hard uphill climb.
I don't know what the reception's like in there. It could be a bit patchy.
Yeah, definitely. But again, we fixed some technology today, so we hopefully managed to keep a very stable connection for the whole time, or at least as much as we can. Remember, we are in a very remote place. We are close to the border with Oman, so it's in the mountains. So we really are doing our best to keep the connection working as long as we can.
Hopefully you can't hear it too easily, but there's actually a generator running in the background to keep everything powered up here.
Right. And again, keep interacting with us. Thank you very much for your comments. Finally, we get some good feedbacks about the quality after 3 years, so that's a success for me. Very good. And again, yeah, thank you also for your feedbacks. If there's some technical flaws or stuff or things that you suggest to do, again, like muting the mic for the camera, that was a very good hint.
So right now, looking around, I can see a lot of, big sort of cumulonimbus sort of build up around the place. It's sort of blending into the haze, but there's blue sky above. Now we've got sunshine at the landing site here. And yeah, it looks a little dark over the mountains, but I think it looks better than before actually. But you can see the edges of some, some big cumulus clouds. Just a sort of cumulonimbus.
Yeah, I mean, coming here this morning around 8:30, so a couple hours ago, it definitely looked a little bit worse, more overdeveloped and already quite early. And now it looks like maybe the haze or maybe just the shadow, the cloud of shadow that the clouds themselves were creating kind of shut down a little bit the whole weather activity. So it's definitely looking a little bit better now.
The usual pattern is you get storms over the water during the night. So now we're moving into the day. Those should be dying off, and we get some new ones developing later on.
Yep. And again, we're showing again the race preview. Basically, the items are now running on this almost flat road before turning right and approaching the very steep uphill climb to take off one, so to Turnpoint 1. It's about 800-meter elevation, but there's also a little bit of distance to climb. Then they will fly to take off to Turnpoint 2, mid-mountain landing, hike back up, or fly back up to take off 3, so to Turnpoint 3. Check Turnpoint 4 in flight, top land back on Turnpoint 1, or now Turnpoint 5, and then take off again and fly to the finish line where we are waiting for them right now.
So that animation's quite handy because normally in these kind of events you just follow Kriegel, but now at least you know where to go.
Exactly. And as well, I remind you that we are still partnering with the relief maps for the live tracking, and you can click on the link in the description video below to access the live tracking and follow the action live on this beautiful app that's showing all the terrain. It's a very, very precise 3D reconstruction. I mean, to follow the race on this app is actually an experience, so I really suggest you to do that. So we're getting information that the first athletes are starting the hill climb right now. We did lose some of the cameras, but we'll get back up as soon as we can.
Maybe if the athletes are climbing up the hill, that'll make it more likely that the sun comes out to make sure they're nice and hot.
Right.
So there is a few trees around the place as well, but they're pretty scraggly looking trees. I'm not sure if the goats get any sustenance from the leaves. I think the trees are designed to be as least inviting as possible, but goats probably go for anything. Doesn't look like there's a lot around here for them to eat, but there is quite a few around the spot, around the place.
I guess we can see more camels than goats right here.
Yeah, we saw quite a few camels on the side of the road on the drive up for Jebel. Those ones look like domesticated ones, but there's a few wild ones in the sand as well. I've heard there's leopards in parts of the al-Hajar and not lynx, tar, like we have tar in New Zealand as well, introduced kind of mountain goat type creatures, and not sure if I've seen any of those myself, but yeah.
All right. I mean, not much happening during the climb, of course. I guess the leading pack is pretty much unchanged. Maybe we can just remind that the situation from the previous task is that Aaron Drogatti from Italy came first at the end of the task one, and Nicola Heringer, which is currently leading the climb, was second, followed by Remy Burdell, third on the building and second today. So how the point system is working is that basically we're going to have a ranking every day on each task, and according to the ranking, pilots will get assigned a score. So the first one will get 1 point, second one 2 points, and so on until the last one. And then at the end of the 5 tasks, we'll just sum the points, and anybody who has a lower score wins.
And if you don't complete the task for some reason, you don't get 0. That's not how it works.
No, because that will put you an advantage with among the others. So you actually get maximum points. You get 25 points if you don't complete the task.
I hope so. I hope someone's figured that out.
Yeah.
I feel like the breeze has come a little bit more around to the south since we've been here.
Yeah, looks like.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about, but
actually yesterday was completely the other way around. It was more northwest and then coming to more and more during the day. Well, I guess the sun is still quite, I mean, it's not coming quite high, but it's still in this space. Maybe later on we will see a shift more towards the southwest side.
Yeah, I'm not aware if there's much of a weather obs network with the wind stations in the vicinity around here, but
I don't think so.
not like Europe.
Yeah. I mean, paragliding is definitely still a small scene here in the Emirates, and so that's also one of our goals in this event is to show people here that paragliding is possible. It's possible to do it safely. That there's a lot of very, very talented people and athletes that could come here and fly and have fun, and also that the local paragliding community can grow. I mean, we're always happy to bring something to our sports, I guess.
Can we see the live tracking or?
Yes, actually, I'm working on that as well.
Yeah, so I I don't think I've worn more than a t-shirt so far in Dubai. It's not super hot, but if you're running up a hill, I think it would be nice to be a bit cooler.
Yeah, I guess maybe a long sleeve shirt to get some shade would be the best option.
Probably the most comfortable is the local attire, the dishash. Nice flowing.
Yeah, true. I tried one of those last time, and it's actually really comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of having wet clothes sticking to you, it sort of just
Yeah, exactly. Very fresh.
waves you around.
All right.
So we're just trying to get the live
Yeah.
tracking fired up. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Trying to get the live tracking ready to show on camera. I think we're almost there.
So it was about 2 hours drive, roughly north or northeast from Dubai to get here. It's closer to Ras Al Khaimah, which is one of the other Emirates. Like there's lots of different Emirates in the United Arab Emirates. And it's quite close to the coast. When you're flying here, you can see the beach.
It actually is in Ras Al Khaimah, so we actually are in a different emirate here.
We're in that emirate, but
yeah, exactly.
the town itself.
I'm sorry,
pretty close by. Yep.
So sorry for the black screen, but I'm just trying to get the live streaming on.
At this stage, I think the athletes will fly. As far as I can see, the development is more over the higher mountains now, so it should be fine to fly out the front. and the clouds towards the ocean, as you would expect during the day, they're not looking so menacing anymore.
Yeah. And I think you are looking at the live screen live on screen right now. So you can see the pack is pretty compact. Most of the athletes already started a uphill climb. And as you can see, it's beautiful reconstruction with even the colors are actually pretty good. They're very similar to what we are looking at right now. And again, now that the hills start, we can see that in the group pack, there's Aaron probably overtaking somebody, Remy Budel, and Nicola Hedinger leading the group.
So the three we expected to be up the front.
Yeah, for sure.
And
That is just a little bit behind, but I mean, it could also be a little bit of a lag of the live tracking, a few seconds.
I also wouldn't expect Aaron to necessarily be in front after the flat part because he doesn't like the flat, but when he goes uphill, he's just ridiculously fast. So
True.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bet's that Aaron will be first to be in the air today.
I totally agree with that. I mean, again, there's definitely top level athletes here in running and trail running. But Aaron, I think, is probably the strongest one on the steep vertical uphill climb.
So we got just three up the front there, and then a slight gap to there's four, isn't
There's four of them. Yeah, that's Aaron, Remy, Nicola Heringer, and Lars Mestetter.
Yes, he was in the top three earlier on.
Yeah. And then Paul Buschelbauer. He was not feeling really well the other day, but apparently he healed up pretty quickly because he's doing really good today. Oops.
I should have taken more notes and had a look at what he was having for breakfast.
True.
Yeah, we had an early start today. Breakfast was from around about 6 o'clock, and we were in the buses to get out here at 7.
Yeah, again, we are a couple hours away from Dubai, so we're gonna do that again tomorrow as well, because tomorrow's task is going to be held in Jebel Jais, just not far from here, a little bit further north.
Yeah, it's about 25 k's in a straight line to the north, more or less. It would have been nice if someone had connected the two sites yesterday, but there was a bit of shower activity around, so I don't think anyone attempted that.
Yeah. Bro, what the fuck? I kill you. I kill you. The power. We are out of power. We're not live anymore. No, we had it for a moment. Okay. No, don't touch. So
either you can hear us or you can't.
exactly. We don't know if we're still live or not. We had a power shortage, but I think we're still live. I'm really sorry about that. We did have a power shortage. Remember, we are again in the middle of nothing, pretty much, and so we did have a little problem with the power line, with the power outlet, and I don't know what was still transmitting, what was not. If then, I'm very sorry for what you heard before. But anyways, um, we're trying to do again our best. I think I still don't have access to the live streaming again, nor the cameras. But
I can tell you that in the last 10 minutes, there's been a couple of rumbles of thunder, and behind us, it might be difficult to see, but there's a few showers. So there is a possibility that we won't get a valid task today, but for now, we haven't made any decision on that yet.
yeah, I mean the committee is still discussing, but there is a chance that given the weather condition at the moment, that we will have to stop the task, and we will see if then we will just be cancelled or maybe just postponed to the afternoon if the weather gets better. All right. So we're still trying to put the whole system together, waiting for some internet connection to get the cameras back and the live streaming as well.
Yeah, so right now the task area is this way, the showers are that way. There's some big development of clouds over the mountains behind the task, but over the task area itself, it's more or less sunny, I would say. There's some shade around as well.
Yeah, I would say shady, but not worrying at the moment.
Yeah, well, I can see some sunshine in the valley where they'll go to pass, but there's also shade over the mountains. So, yeah. Yeah, the breeze hasn't changed much. It's maybe the direction is slightly towards the mountains again. It hasn't changed much over the time we've been here.
Yeah, maybe it got a little bit lighter. Looks like it got a little bit lighter than before.
But there's been nothing crazy happening so far with the winds.
Yep.
I give the information to Guy. They are aware of it, and
Okay.
they will take the decision.
Yeah.
Very good.
The showers are being steered from the west.
So, like the wind.
Yeah. See, they're coming
So
from the west.
just go there. But anyway,
If we see showers,
if I was flying,
yeah,
I see this, I don't take off.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I mean, the other thing we should communicate to them if there's any gust fronts, if we feel anything near, then we should get straight away tell them. But it's probably not too hard to see with all the dust around.
Anyway, they are halfway, more or less. There is still a bit of time to see.
Is Aaron still up in the lead?
Yeah, Aaron on the lead, then Nicola, Lars, and Remy.
Yep.
And behind Daniel and Daniel over.
We're still trying to get access back to the internet. It's taking a little bit longer than it should. But should take just a minute now. So Nick, did you have some information from the leading pack?
Yeah, it looks like Aaron Duragati is still in the lead, and the usual suspects, Remy, Lars, and Nicola, not so far behind in second, third, and fourth place.
Right.
And then there's a good spread down the hill. Not everyone is so fast as those guys.
I wonder what they will decide from up there, if they feel safe to take off or not. I mean, the showers are not too close, but also not too far. I mean,
yeah, the showers are off to the south, and they're moving with from the west with the westerly winds, so they're not position to go straight over the course at the moment. And we need a tent here with a see-through roof because it's a bit hard to see all the clouds. And
well, we also need shadow. We also need shadow, so that's a difficult combination.
Yeah, or shade's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost looks like a few patches of snow in the hills, but I know it's not snow. It's just some of the cleared gravel on the road up to the launch. The second launch.
Yeah, we definitely have a very, very good visual of the whole race course here today. We can see both takeoffs. We couldn't just see the start from here, but once the athlete will get airborne, we will probably see them actually live from here.
Yeah, so there's a few patches of sun on the second mountain. The first mountain is pretty much in shade, and now from what I can see, the valley is mostly in shade, but the hill to the west of the valley is mostly in sun. What's your pick?
Still working to get back the connection.
How long do you think it is?
I think we're back online.
The Turnpoint.
Go back.
Just a few
I
minutes.
think we're getting back online soon.
Like 25 minutes.
Oh, so far.
Not
Where is? Oh, they're gonna get up to here.
maybe
Okay.
15 minutes.
Yeah,
like
okay.
minimum. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there is still like 300 meters to go. So I don't know.
Again, thank you for your patience. Sorry about the technical issues we're facing.
So
Yep.
I think 20
Again, we
minutes.
do rely on some infrastructures here, and if these infrastructures are failing, then we try and do our best to go back, to put them back. And if these infrastructures are failing, then we. All right.
So looking at the live tracking, it looks like the leaders have probably got about 20 minutes to get to the Turnpoint. Their rate is more or less 1,000 vertical meters an hour, so that's what it looks like according to our live tracking guru on relief tracking.
Okay, there we go. Now we're back. We can see our comments again. I guess we're getting fully back. All right. Do we have news for the takeoff? Are the guys already on top, or
About 20 minutes.
So we do see the live tracking again. All right.
So it looks like the trailing pack is well away up the hill as well.
Yeah, true. I mean, these guys are all pushing really, really hard and really fast. Nice. Look at the guys go.
Yeah, nice breeze and a bit of shade for them.
Yeah. Definitely not feeling like Emirates too much right now. Yeah, pretty much the group is unchanged, at least in the head pack.
You can see there's some nice rock strata in the, even comes up in the live tracking. There are quite pretty mountains. There's some parts which look a bit like gravel dumps.
It definitely looks like there's a lot of dirt in the air. Well, of course, part of it is also maybe a little bit of the overdeveloping and shadow casting from the clouds that we were talking about before. Looks like the situation is getting a little bit better in the south. We'll look at a slight.
Cloud base doesn't look much higher than the mountain
Yeah, sure.
that is, to the back of where they're hiking up right now, but it's higher than where they'll fly from. So yeah, it just looks pretty dark over that hill. I think that shower to the south is not looking. It's mostly finished now by the looks of it.
All right. And we're looking at the athletes. Okay. Okay, we're getting some technical information. Okay, we have one camera. Oh, camera 2 is here. Okay, very good. Perfect. Okay. All right. Hello. Hello from Australia. We're still looking at your comments and what happens if there does not cooperate? What happens if the hike being done now and this we have to check this with the race director. But what happens if the task gets cancelled or postponed? Maybe we just keep the. Actually, what we said before is that we just keep the current ranking in case we stop the race, and that current ranking will be the final. So of course, it's a little bit penalizing for people who are not very fast hikers and good flyers. But in general, I mean, these kind of tasks that are very short tend to privilege strong athletes. It could potentially turn into a vertical run.
Last time when we had the mountain task, and then a sled ride down because you had to land more or less without having to thermal on the way. And then at that point, some people hiked up to the next Turnpoint on the top of the same mountain and flew to goal from there. And others, like myself, took off from that point because you could fly up, but it took a long time to fly up. And in fact, I think the winners were the ones that hiked up. It was very close. And I know someone that, well, Spike ended up overtaking me at the end, and it's because it took me a little bit to launch off the rocky launch, and I was getting lines caught. And he had tried to fly up, he'd landed, packed up, and hiked up in the time it had taken me to slowly, thermal my way up the front and glide in.
Yeah, even fly. So take a landing place. The Turnpoint 2 is also launchable. So people have the choice to either launch from there and try and thermal up to the next Turnpoint, or just hike up.
Yeah, at the moment from where we are with the breeze that we have, I think it would be quite easy to soar, and that's less risky than having to try and find a thermal. It might be a little bit tricky to top land up the top with the breeze as it is, but I mean, these guys should have a lot of top landing experience, so they should be able to figure something out. But it is pretty rocky terrain as well. You don't really want to land in the wrong spot and ruin your glider, especially if there's a bit of wind to drag it over the rocks. Bit of sunshine here at the landing field now, but it's looking more gloomy over the mountains.
Yeah. I mean, weather is definitely evolving quite quickly here. Probably it's just because we're, very dry place, lots of sun, lots of heat, lots of energy involved. And so we are keeping an eye on the weather minute after minute to take a final decision whether the athletes will be able to launch once they get to Turnpoint 1 or if they will have to stop.
Yeah, I mean, the pilots who are the fastest up the hill are also quite good in the air, so I think they'll be able to make good decisions as to whether it's safe to fly or not.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, exactly. I mean, remember most of these guys are either XL's pilots or anyway, very expert adventure racers. So normally on longer adventure race, you always take this decision on yourself. I mean, you decide whether you want to fly or not, fly or hike. But as well, to do a task like the one of today, completely hiking, it would turn into a possibly an ultra marathon if you want to complete all of that just walking. If the race committee decides that it's not safe to fly, we still have a chance to stop the race and maybe just keep the hike as a final ranking of today.
I'm not sure what the trail's like, but I would say it's pretty rocky, and there could be quite a bit of loose rock, so it could be a danger that some athletes will knock down some loose rock and maybe they go towards the athletes below. I would say that risk would go up a bit if they're running down the hill.
Well, yeah, exactly. I think the trail is pretty nice. I mean, it's a very renowned area of the country for hiking and walking in the mountains, so it's actually quite well built, especially for trails. So they actually have good trails. But yeah, of course, when you start running, anything can happen.
Yeah, I've been on a couple of hikes in this area years ago, and they're really beautiful, and it's not something you expect to see within a couple of hours of Dubai is a hiking trail in the mountains through, a few old cottages in the hills and clay pots and donkeys and vultures. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's something that you'd only do for the cooler months of the year, that's for sure.
that's for sure. I mean, in the summer here, it can get up to 50 degrees, so
Yeah.
it will be really unbearable to hike in rocks. I mean, imagine the rocks uh, reflecting the heat from the sun and the sun from the top, so you'll be just like an oven.
A lot of these valleys are dry as well. There's a few wadis with, gorges and water features through them, but a lot of them are just completely, a lot of time you need to know where to get the water in. There's not.
Aaron has left a little bit of a gap behind him, and as we expect, quite soon.
When we had the familiarization day, first we went to this site, and I think all the athletes flew there. And then afterwards, they went to the other site, which we'll be going to tomorrow for the task, which is about 25 k's to the north. And as far as I know, Aaron was the only one that flew that time. The others just had a look around and decided not to fly. It was pretty cloudy and dark looking, and the breeze was from the wrong direction. But Aaron flew from halfway up the mountain where we started the task. It's the same this time as last time, I believe, and apparently landed in the same spot after soaring some ridges and flying around.
Yep. I mean, I think we can all agree that Aaron is one of the favorite athletes for the whole competition, probably. I mean, he's a very, very skilled flyer. Not that the others are not.
But he's come from winning the Red Rocks and the competition which Gavin McClurg's organised in Utah.
Yep.
And I believe that was the second time he's won out of 2 events. So this is the second UAE Hike&Fly, and
who knows?
He didn't win the first one. I don't know if that's got something to do with him putting his wrapping his glider around the only tree in the desert. Well,
That
there's a few
definitely
more
didn't
here.
help. Yeah, that definitely didn't help.
Yeah, but he's definitely strong on the ground, and he's got a lot of experience in the air.
And in the meantime, you can see the sun peeking out in the takeoff area from the camera we got set up there. And by looking at the live streaming in relief maps, I assume Aaron must be getting up there really, really soon.
It'd be good if we had a camera that we can just look at the mountains from here. Bit easy to see the situation, but
yeah, because that's all the great view we see right now by looking at the mountain from here. But definitely something we can think about. Yeah, for sure.
Just gives you an idea of the cloud development. I mean, there's a few power lines and gravel pits around here, but
So by looking right now, it looks like the situation is getting a little bit more tricky again. The clouds are developing quite quickly, pretty much along the whole mountain range, as far as we can see. And
Yeah, it tends to be on these days where you've got big cumulus build up. I mean, it'll tend to develop over the mountains during the day, preferentially, but it also makes a big difference when you have shade. So sometimes if you have some development, then it shades everything out and then it slows down. But if things calm down, then you get a lot more sunshine on the ground and that speeds development up.
yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty complicated scenario when the clouds are driving things and they also create shadows, which shuts things down as well.
And the one photographer team position right now, we can assume that that Aaron must be reaching the top quite quickly, quite soon. So all eyes on the camera, on the takeoff camera, waiting for Aaron to reach the top.
How are the others looking? Is it look like the pack's still moving along, or is there any stragglers that are
I mean,
on
there's
the
a
side of the hill having a picnic?
yeah, no, there's a little bit of a gap. I mean, not a big one, but a little bit of a gap between Aaron and the rest of the group. And then there are 2 or 3 other clusters along the mountain, as you can see here. So Aaron is almost there, and then there's a couple clusters of athletes still hiking. The last ones are pretty much halfway of the climb. And we're all waiting for Aaron to reach the top right now. By looking at the live, he must be really close to make it to the top. So let's see if our camera crew guys are ready to get the moment.
Oh, I just heard a rumble of thunder.
Yep.
Not exactly sure where it came from, but it's looking pretty dark over the mountain behind the task area.
Yeah. We're not sure where it comes from, but it sounded pretty close anyways. And I guess everybody on takeoff is looking at the weather situation and maybe with a little bit of concern.
As I said, the wind here has been pretty consistent. There's been definitely no gust fronts where we have been. And since there's so much dust in this area, I think it would be, I think if there was a gust front, it'd kick up some dust and you'd be able to see it from the distance. So then you have to make the decision if you're in the air, whether you keep flying, because you don't want to be near the ground where there's a gust front coming through, or you get on the ground and get the wing stowed away before before it arrives.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did see a slight change in direction of the wind. It's more towards the southwesterly sides.
It's more or less from the same quarter though, isn't it?
Yeah, true. But definitely nothing to worry about right now.
It'd be a nice strength for ground handling,
Yeah.
probably not soar where we are, but up the hill I think you'd probably be able to soar the ridges. You see a couple of United Emirates flags blowing from where we are. And another rumble of thunder in the distance.
Yeah, I believe the other day was the National Flag Day here in the Arab Emirates. So we're looking at a lot of flags around everywhere.
Aaron arrived with 3 minutes
In front of the other. Yeah, we just got confirmation that Aaron just arrived to take off. He has a 3-minute advantage on the rest of the pack. And as you can see from the live, I mean, yeah, of course, there is a little bit of uncertainty in GPS position every time, but pretty much we now have confirmation that Aaron made it to the takeoff.
Another rumble of thunder. Yeah, it appears Aaron's legs are still salvageable after his stair runs the other day.
I'm sorry?
It seems like Aaron's legs are not too badly affected by the stair runs.
Yeah, true. I mean, I guess that's what he does for breakfast pretty much every day. All right. I'm not sure whether the race committee will decide to stop the race or just let it continue. But so far we have no news.
Do you know who's up on the Turnpoint
I
with
think
the athletes?
I think he's on 10.3 right now, but I think also Remy and other people made it to the Turnpoint. I think they get ready to take off right now.
Yep. Yeah, basically the main dangers of thunderstorms is being in them, where you get, you could be hailed on, or you could be getting a wet wing, and there's severe updrafts and downdrafts. But that's not really an issue for us now because the thunderstorms aren't at the task area. But the other danger is gust fronts, where it rains and you also get a cooling of the air, which makes it fall heavier, and then it just spreads out. And around this kind of terrain, of course, you'd expect the wind to channel up the valleys. So that would be the main risk at the moment. Just hearing a rumble of thunder behind us at the moment. But yeah, as I said, the winds where we are haven't shown. There's been no gust fronts that we've been aware of so far.
And for those ones who don't know, Nick's job is a meteorologist, so there's nobody better than him to explain all of us about this dynamics.
Yeah, meteorology is a lot about looking at the forecast and then looking what actually happens and then getting a feel for that area. And I'm not really familiar with this area, but there's a few basic principles which that's how I do things normally. I mean, it's kind of a good way because if you're in a new area, you just think about all the principles and the different, than just relying on what it said on the forecast. And yeah, really, it's understanding.
Yeah, for sure. So we're I just got a hint from one of the race committee race judge giving me a eye vessel. So
Yeah, we stopped due to strong winds on the top.
oh, okay. So we stop is officially stopping now, but not canceling, just stopping or
I think canceling. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's official because the wind on takeoff has increased as I mean expected in so it's not affecting directly the race area, but definitely or affecting the air mass around it. And so I would say the task is suspended. It's stopped for now. It's cancelled for now. So the athletes are gonna arrive to the takeoff, and then I think we'll organize back down. But all from Jebel Yanas. Yeah, again, of course, this race is all about the fun. It's all about exploring new places and also doing a little bit of crazy stuff like the other day. But most of all, it's about safety, like every paragliding competition, I would say. And so the race committee is very concerned about the safety of the pilots at all times. And again, normally in a hike and fly adventure race, you never stop the race because of bad weather. But in this case, we really think it's a good decision.
It's something like the X Alps where it runs over such a long time period and a long distance, and there's different weather in different places. You can't really control whether people can fly or not based on the weather, but they do actually control whether you can launch at the very first turn point in X Alps.
True.
Because then there's a lot more, time pressure and peer pressure. Like if everyone else is launching, then I should too. But when you're all on your own in the mountains and there's different weather everywhere, you have to make those decisions for yourself. But yeah, these Dubai, or the UAE Hike&Fly races are very short and fast tasks.
Yeah. So in the meantime, we already have a list of the first athletes that made it to the top. We don't have a provisional ranking yet, but definitely Aaron made it to the top in third position. And we had Remy and Nicola Heringer, Thomas Matera as well. Lars, I think Lars was following. Yeah, Lars Verstetter was also in the first group. So the first five pilots made it to the top. And following, we have Damien Lacaze, another very, very strong athlete and experienced pilot for sure. Followed by Maurice Kohler. And again, I remind you that the live streaming is brought to you by Relief Maps. Sorry, the live tracking system, and that's what we're looking at right now. And that's how we can see with such precision and such, reality on the terrain, what's going on today, even from here, from the finish line. Damien just made it to the top and is going to reach the other athlete soon. And Maurice is following really, really shortly after. Stanislav Mayer from Czech Republic, also on his way to the top. And again, in case some of you just connected now or recently, unfortunately, we already confirmed that the task has stopped for
for the weather. Yeah, the task has been called off. Like athletes might choose to fly down if they want to on their own, but it's not going to be anything part of the task. I hear that it's whatever position you're in at the time the task is stopped, but there's talk of possibly doing something in the afternoon. But I think it's a pretty unstable weather day. I mean, if we already had showers in the morning and a brief one on the drive in, and then it started pretty early. I don't know what time we had to have as a window for the race. I mean, it's pretty unstable weather at the moment. So
true. I mean, we probably hope for a little bit more time. The forecast said for maybe showers a little bit later than this, but again, it's around 12:31. Probably we really had a tight window, so we were expecting a chance of cancelling already. But
it's only 11:15 now, so
yeah.
I mean, first light is what 6ish, 7ish in the morning. Like it's shorter days this time of year, so it's not like it's been light since 4 in the morning or something. And 11:15 is pretty early to have storms, and we've had thunder for quite some time now. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, I think you can't really blame our lack of trying for getting this task valid. I mean, there's been weather pretty much the whole time.
Yeah. So Maurice also just made it to reach the group of pilots, and Stanislav Mayer is just following together with, let's see, it's a Bergdold, very young guy. Right, and sorry for the little mute time, but we were getting some information from the top.
Yeah, so there's still rumbles of thunder in the background, and it's looking pretty gloomy. But we've had a few messages. Aaron Durigati's basically said the winds are fine up there, and he's happy to fly down. He just wanted to check whether he, it wasn't going to be disadvantaged, like it wasn't, the task wasn't going to start again, and he needed to be up the hill waiting where he was, or anything like that. Because yeah, for him, he definitely doesn't like walking down hills. I mean, he doesn't like running on the flat. He's definitely not one that his legs appreciate the going down hills, so he'd much rather fly down. And it seems okay for that. But I think given the near constant thunder all around and all the development, it's probably a sensible idea to call the task. And every athlete's going to turn up there at different times, and it might become worse, and there might be gust fronts associated with storms later on. So it probably makes sense to not risk anything.
Yeah, and as well, of course, one thing is if some of the athletes want to glide down safely, escaping the storms that are quite far behind. Another thing is to keep, the race mode through the thunderstorms moving. That would be probably, definitely too risky. So that's probably also why this decision was taken. But yeah, apparently some of the pilots that are on top right now, they want to fly it down instead of walking down or waiting for transportation. So
Thunder again.
yeah. I mean, again, the situation here is evolving quite quickly. We have now a little bit of sun again on takeoff. But again, storms are
Yeah, you can
forming
see
and
cumulonimbus
yeah,
further back in the mountains.
yeah, exactly. And in the meantime, also Stanislav made it to the top. Daniel Oberauer made it to the top, and Peter Verjord very close to the top as well. The next one's following Michel Wichi from Switzerland and Reto Reiser. So two Swiss teammates.
I saw an interview with Aaron on Instagram yesterday where someone asked him about the heat and whether that was a problem. He said, no, not such a problem. So
Yeah, he usually says that his body starts functioning better, although start performing well. With all of his knee pain and ligaments and tendons pain that he has, probably a little bit of warmer temperature is helping out.
yeah, he lives in Murano on the Italian side of the Alps, and I know it's better earlier in the season where you have less stability, but in the summer, the long walk back up,
Yeah.
you've got strong valley winds, and it's just a really, really, like, it's much hotter down there. It's very unpleasant. Punishment, as well as the psychological punishment of having to walk up the hill to fly again and knowing that everyone is staying high. So yeah, he comes from a part of the Alps which can get quite hot, I suppose. Whereas the way I think about Switzerland is it's usually cloudy and raining.
Right, yeah. Actually, Milano and Bolzano are it's probably the coldest part of Italy in the winter, and one of the and one of the hottest parts of Italy in the summer.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's really in like a very wide and round valley that kind of heats up a lot during summer days. So
Yep. Yeah, my assessment of how it is in the Alps might be a bit biased by the fact that I'm generally only there in the summer.
true. And some more thunders. We can hear some more thunders. I'm looking at this little pack down here. Is it just my impression, or are they walking down? I just would like to see an update.
So I'm used to thunderstorms in Australia where it's pretty flat, and when you go somewhere where there's mountains and there's thunder, sometimes it sounds like a truck driving down the valley. It just echoes so much, and it's like a really drawn out sort of rumble.
So again, at this point, if you just connected, we have confirmed that the task is cancelled for now. The task is cancelled for now, and so the athletes, I think, I mean, by looking at the live tracking, I think some of them is actually walking back down because there's no point for them on walking up anymore. Because at the moment we cancel the task, I think we already froze the ranking. Maybe we can get a confirmation from the race judge. So at the time of when we stopped the race, we froze the rankings, right? Yeah, perfect. So at this point, there's no point in rushing up anymore. And so I guess most of the athletes are walking back down, as you can see from the live stream, from the live tracking. Live tracking that is brought to you by Relief Maps, our partner again this year. And again, if you just connected now, I remind you that you can click on the link down in the description of this video to follow the live tracking. The link is not changing, so it's going to be the same link for all the tasks. So, but again, we're going to post it in every live streaming in every video. And again, if you're not yet doing it, I highly suggest you to follow us on Instagram at UAE Hike&Fly Championship, where you can see lots of great quality content made by our very large video team this year. We're posting constantly stories, videos, pictures, so you can get an update on what's happening during race days and after, and also out of the race days. Insights of the life of the athletes here in Dubai, and a lot of fun stuff. I guess we'll be seeing the takeoff from the building for a while now. It's funny because, you know, there's now 24, 25 videos which look pretty much the same with a 360 camera on a helmet and just the same cover launch. Condition was really easy actually the other day, so pretty much almost every takeoff was really smooth.
Yeah, it was a lot more efficient than the last edition with the launches.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the mountain behind the first Turnpoint now, and it's a bit more in the sun. It's not looking as gloomy as before, but that means that there can be more heating, so more development in the future.
Yeah.
So it can be a bit of a
well, at the same time, by looking at the mountain on the second and third Turnpoint, that looks a bit more critical right now. I mean,
yeah, and that's the one that had sun before. So
yeah,
there you go.
I mean, things are evolving really quickly, but that's also one of the reasons why the tax was cancelled. And I totally agree with the decision because, I mean, these are real storms. Things are happening really fast, and we don't want to put anybody in danger just for the sake of getting one position in a ranking of one task or one race. You know. So we're still waiting to see if some pilots will actually take off, or I think, or if they're all going to walk down. All the guys that were just before halfway definitely are walking down right now, as you can see from the live track. I'm seeing something from Aaron here. I'm wondering whether he is flying, yeah.
So we are looking up at the hill trying to spot a glider.
Yeah. Yeah, he must be flying right now, yeah. Yeah, definitely flying. You can see his speed at 45 kilometers per hour.
I haven't spotted him visually, but
no, not yet. Me neither.
Oh, I do see him now. Actually, he's just above the horizon, like sort of halfway down the ridge.
Yeah, it's pretty hard. to see. Yeah.
If you go to that power line behind the tree and then straight up from there and about that far above the horizon,
Okay.
it's a bit hard to make out.
Yeah.
Once you see it, it's a bit easier to keep tracking him.
For some
Yeah, so
reason,
he's
still not spotting it, but maybe just because I'm looking at the screen for flowers right now.
sorry.
I've been looking at the screen for flowers and
He's quite a way above the ridge. Yeah, nowhere near the ground. Looks like he's facing us, but he's quite small, so it's a bit hard to tell.
all right.
But he might just be trying to glide to where we are now,
Yeah,
actually.
probably. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the.
Yeah, I'll have to get the camera ready if he gets a bit closer.
Yep.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it looks like he's pushing out, doesn't it? On
Yeah,
live
yeah.
tracking.
On live tracking is looking like it's pushing out right now.
Yep. It looks like he's coming straight for us.
Yep.
Should we get the tea ready or
Maybe some fresh water. Maybe we'll appreciate more some fresh water for sure.
yeah. Yeah, it's a bit harder to find beer in this place than it is in Europe. But there's plenty of water.
True.
You haven't spotted him yet, have you?
No, not yet.
He's basically in the same spot as before.
Oh yeah, now I saw it. Now
Yeah.
I saw him. Yeah,
Yep.
it's really weird. Usually, I'm quite good at spotting lighters in the sky, but I was looking at probably at a totally wrong.
Sometimes you're just looking slightly the wrong way, or
Yeah.
yeah. The best is to keep changing where you're looking, and I think
And
that's how they train you to
yeah,
do a scan of the sky.
and changing the focus as well because sometimes you're focusing too far, too close, and then
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. He's just started doing a few side to side, so he's burning off the height a bit.
Yep.
Anyone else taking off? Doesn't look
I
like
don't
it.
think so. No, it doesn't look like from the live track. I mean, right now, actually, the 10.1 is probably the best place to be, as everywhere else there are smaller or bigger storms forming, and so I guess Aaron just took the chance and decided to take the easy way down instead of having to walk down the whole way.
Yeah, he wants to save his knees.
Yeah.
It looks like he's losing height, so he might not land by us after all. He might be going back for the spot closer to where they started.
All right. And as Aaron is flying out, so it's taking the fast and easy way down, most of the guys are walking down. What a shame. So let's see if Aaron will make it to the finish where we are, or if he's gonna be landing at the start. Then maybe also another option for him. Again, the finish is probably easily reachable by glide, but he was trying losing some altitude on his way out, so maybe he decided to. Oh, there he is. Yeah, maybe he decided to land down at the start. Yeah,
Sorry, there's some high tension power lines up the valley there, but I'm
he landed halfway between the start and the finish. Maybe he saw the cars there, or cars bringing food and water.
Totally changing depending on what's going on with the storms. What's
Yeah, and we are at just east of us on the higher mountains, but we do see some.
from early in the morning. That means the storm's are not gonna be as organized and the outflow is gonna be as strong. So yeah, it's not a day where the best days for gust fronts are where you got a big storm that develops over a longer time period, but falling air mass before it splays out. And then, of course, if you have valleys to channel the airflow through, it can make a difference as well.
By looking at the race course right now, I think it was a good decision.
It's
because
pretty great, yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, that's there.
Yeah, it could be, yeah. Yep. Yeah, just up this valley. I don't think it even was enough to wet the ground. There was just, a few spots on the windscreen, but not enough to use the window wipers.
True. All right, so I would say that as far as we're concerned, as the race is officially, as task is officially being cancelled, and the only pilot flying has already landed safely, I think we can also thank you all for being with us for this couple hours, and maybe just send you on the Instagram page to just keep updated on what's going to happen next. And if we do happen to do any further live transmissions, we will of course notify that on the Instagram channel. And so just keep watching there. And yeah, we're getting rained on right now a little bit, but of course we are under a tent.
Good way to finish.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully the quality was quite better this time, and even if we did experience some other minor technical issues, but
Issues like it not working at all.
yeah, just for a minute, just for 30 seconds. But again, we on an ongoing process, and of course we're trying to get better every time, and we definitely will. So once again, thank you everyone for watching, and the next scheduled task is for tomorrow morning, just at the same time as today. So we invite you for tomorrow at 10 o'clock local time Dubai to connect back to our YouTube channel to follow the next task. Apart from that, thank you very much. I'm Fiona. Here's Nick.
A few big. Very good. I reckon that's a good day.